and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us for another episode of the Taboo Tater Tots Club podcast.
Where we talk about anything that interests us, whether it be political correctness and how we fucking hate it, or generalized just bullfuckery. How are you doing today, Nick?
I should be able to say the N-word whenever I want to.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay.
Nincompoop.
I'm offended.
Good. Oh, I'm doing alright. A lot has happened the past couple of days in my own personal life, but excuse me. Let's just say the most significant thing was that my grandfather does not have leukemia. Yay! He gets another 5 to 10 years with us, probably. Oh, and another thing. I am absolutely honored by this, but I also feel very guilty that he's giving me his 97 Ford pickup. Or not Ford, Chevy pickup. He put that in the will.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
The one that I drove here
Yep.
a couple times,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I'm getting that when he passes away. And all of the grandkids are getting 10% of his wealth, which right now is not a whole lot. And I keep on telling him, hey, you should pull your money out of the stock market because we're due for another crash here soon. And he's like, oh, it'll be fine. And I'm like, remember Obama? And he's like, I'll think about it. How are you doing?
I'm up and down. That's typically how boners work, but I mean, like, my emotional state is up and down.
You're not wearing a shirt?
Honestly, I didn't even notice until you pointed it out.
Very cool.
So, as you know, Callan and my ma came up to visit this weekend.
Which, if you don't know, Callan is his brother. You should check out our Call of Duty episode where we play with him. That was pretty good.
Yeah. I showed him the studio, which obviously we're in now.
Yeah.
And he was fascinated with everything.
Yeah.
Like, I literally showed him how the fucking mics work, what the dials do, what every little like icon does. I showed him the USB hub and how that works, and he just thought it was all just the coolest thing. And his favorite flag, by the way, I made sure to ask him this for you, is stay strapped or get your ass clapped.
Nice.
He thoroughly got a kick out of that. And
I like the Benjamin Franklin one best personally, but that's a good one too.
And then my brother Callan also gave me an Assassin's Creed Brotherhood poster. Would you consider that a poster?
It's a mini poster. Yeah.
It's in a frame.
It's like maybe 5 inches by 8. Something like that. Yeah.
It has a bunch of autographs, it looks like, on it.
Which I don't think those are actual ink autographs. They look like they're just part of the print because there's one that's like behind the people. There's 2 actually that are behind the cutout of the people standing there. Which, still, it's cool.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's worth a good hunk of money, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna sell it for a damn.
I know that one's Ezio, and I know that one's hot. That's all I know. Actually, that might not be Ezio. I don't know.
I don't know, some dude in a fucking hoodie.
Yeah.
And so I showed him how everything worked, and he had fun messing with the mic arms. And then we played Call of Duty, and he absolutely destroyed my ass.
Yeah.
Because he chose a map he was familiar with, but I had never played.
I see. Well,
so, and
I
then
know...
sorry, but
Go ahead.
wasn't done.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And then we played some Minecraft, and then we made hamburgers in like 90 to 100 degree weather.
Yeah, it was pretty hot the other day.
I want to say it was like 95 at one point.
Yeah.
And we made burgers over the fire. I showed them how to, build a fire up and how to grill them and how to do the cooking technique I call nuking.
Nuking, yeah.
And it was a good time. Like,
would you say that your brother tasted your nuke?
Oh, absolutely. So did my ma.
Good. I'm sure she does. I'm not gonna go there.
I'm sure she actually said that she enjoyed my nuke.
Oh, good.
Her exact wording at one point.
Very good.
She enjoyed my nuke.
Boop 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 doop. Okay.
And then, as you know, I've been to a total of 3 doctors now.
Oh yes.
And for my wrists, my hands, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah.
And nobody was able to fucking tell me a fucking goddamn thing.
Huh.
But after doing some research, and I don't want to be, one of those people like, I know better than a doctor because I did 10 minutes of research. No. I did a couple hours worth, first off.
Oh, it wasn't just a few minutes, it was a few hours.
Yeah. And on top of that, every doctor I went to, the exact words, I can still hear them in my fucking head. Everything seems fine. Yeah, everything seems fine, but obviously it's not because I can't hold on to shit.
Yeah.
I can't play the guitar, so like, fix it, Yeah. That's your job. You chose this profession,
Yeah.
Give me some fucking answers. But after doing some research, I found out that I have tendonitis, which is actually pretty easy to cure. You can do it at home, thankfully. You're supposed to go to a doctor and have it cured, but honestly, they would still probably just tell me that it's fine.
Yeah.
Even though, no. So that was infuriating. So I've been doing that for the past little while now. Maybe less than a week. And my front hand, my left hand, is almost maybe back to its full functionality.
Wow.
My right hand, my dominant hand, is still very stiff.
Yeah.
And I can't really do anything with it. But that's because I've been focusing mostly on the left hand.
Yeah.
Because, like, the worst, and I've tried playing a few times, and in the span of 10 minutes, I dropped 4 guitar picks in the guitar hole.
Oh, wow.
I used to never drop them in the hole.
Yeah.
Shut it.
Wasn't even thinking about it.
Okay, good boy.
Okay.
Have a Scooby snack. So, but that's where I'm at in life.
Very good.
Sorry that I kept cutting you off there.
No, you're good.
Kept talking, but I felt the need to share. So
I just had one little side tangent I wanted to mention.
Go for it.
I've only ever played one Assassin's Creed all the way through. That was Black Flag, which is apparently like a really common thing because Black Flag was so good. But I also played a tiny bit of the first one. But the only part that I played was there's this part in the first game at the very first. It's like a tutorial that my ex-wife couldn't pass, and me, as I was absolutely shit-faced, I was 3 sheets to the wind. I was fucked up, I just so drunk, and she's like, I've tried this like 20 times and I can't get past it, and I don't even remember exactly what I had to do. I just remember it was a tutorial part, and I aced it the first try. Drunk out of my own head.
So, she's a bitch
I mean,
in both contexts.
sure.
I've only ever played one of them. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
But, I never played it all the way through. In fact, I don't think I ever played a mission. Or like a storyline or whatever you want to fucking call it.
Yeah.
Because literally the only thing I did was run around stabbing women in the back and then fighting the guards.
I see.
Who got upset at me
Oh.
Oh, and I would only stab women in the back, by the way.
Very good. I also played a little bit of Syndicate.
Men were safe.
Okay. Also, one
I was
other
like
thing.
8.
You were
Okay,
8?
probably like 10, but...
Okay. One more thing before we get into the main subject matter. You might hear some background noise. That is the noise of us not dying because it is currently 91 degrees and we need cool. We have a AC going. Sorry about the noise. And
yeah, it's so hot my nipples are hiding.
thank you for drawing attention to your nipples. Anyway,
I was trying to say my nukes were hiding, but nipples came out.
your nukes. Okay, very cool.
Anyways,
So today we have 2 topics up for grabs. We're going to start with one of them, and if we don't get to the second one, that's fine. But if we do, that's fine too. But we're going to be talking about conspiracy theories.
bum, bum, bum. I'm just stroking my rod.
So conspiracy theory number 1. We'll take turns, like saying, "Oh, I know of this conspiracy theory. Here are the details.
Do you believe
do
in
you
this?
believe in this or not?"
Yeah. And
So
then just generalized conversational bullshit.
So there's actually a conspiracy theory that I learned of just today. Literally sitting
Really?
in the parking lot of the gas station, eating my lunch right before I got here. It is that the United States government or any of their departments or agencies made the food pyramid to fatten up the youth and make us diseased and hurt us and stuff because apparently a document has leaked that the Department of Agriculture knew that having like 9 servings of grains a day was super duper not okay, and yet they still made that like the tippy top of the food pyramid anyway, because that will lead, I guess, so I've heard, to dementia. Like a lot of grains and carbohydrates over time being in your system 24/7 will contribute to dementia. Of course, it will contribute to diabetes because carbohydrates and grains and stuff turn into different types of sugar. And
Okay, but hold on. Sorry for cutting you off. I just gotta make sure I'm understanding properly here. Me eating like shit is actually working out for me?
Well, it depends. What do you eat?
Shit.
No, it's not working out for you.
Well, I'm not fucking diabetic.
Yet.
Yeah, well, my diet wouldn't change if I was.
I mean, same.
You are!
Well, yeah, that's why I said same.
But like...
Or not the tippy top. I said the tippy top. I meant the bottom, which is the biggest portion of the pyramid,
yeah.
But yeah, the food pyramid says bread, cereal, rice, and pasta is the biggest group. You should have 6 to 11 servings a day, which is out fucking rageous.
Right?
Fruit and vegetables. We will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Somebody came to the door and we had to answer it. Anyway,
Yeah, goddamn telemarketers, but in person.
yes.
Door-to-door salesman. That's what they are.
Yes. So a layer up from the bread, cereal, rice, and pasta is fruit and vegetables, which is good. 2 to 4 servings or 3 to 5 servings. But then the milk, yogurt, cheese, meat, poultry, fish, dry beans, eggs, and nuts are above that, which I honestly think that those two groups should be replaced with the bread, cereal, rice, and pasta.
Yeah, because pasta is, generally speaking, more unhealthy because of all the salt in the noodles.
And also the carbohydrates in them, too.
Yeah. I think it's actually an actual statistic that Italians are at a higher risk of diabetes.
And heart disease, I think it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's right behind black people, which I think it's just black people's genetics make them more susceptible to heart disease and stuff like that.
Don't get me wrong, I fucking love pasta.
Yeah.
Except spaghetti. I don't like spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti's okay.
It's the aftertaste for me, you know.
Yeah, if spaghetti is sweet or has mushrooms, I will not eat it.
I would rather it be sweet if it didn't have the fucking aftertaste.
Yeah.
Because the aftertaste is what makes me not want to eat it.
It just depends on who makes it, really. But the conspiracy is that they made it the way that they made it, specifically so that the population would be more prone
Fat.
to diabetes and heart disease and dementia and different things that are caused by unhealthy diets, to make the population more or more docile, I suppose. Do I believe that? It does sound plausible. It really does. I don't know if I believe it 100%, but
When did this take place, do you know?
the food pyramid?
No, the supposed conspiracy.
Well, when the food pyramid was made, which I will look that up. When was the food pyramid created? 92. 1992.
So, George W. Bush would have been in office, right?
No, that would have been either Clinton or H.W. Bush. President in
I don't know.
92.
My fucking history when it comes to politics is
Clinton, yes.
fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
If it was Clinton, then yeah, I could definitely see. Because
We're gonna make all these bastards fat.
Because not to get too political here, but the Clinton
Administration.
Political side, I don't fucking remember
Democrats?
their name. Thank you. The Democrats have a tendency to try to control people more than the
Republicans.
Thank you. I am struggling today. Can you tell?
A little bit, yeah.
But like that is, if you look at history, that is a legitimate thing that you will start to notice.
Especially within the last 25, 50 years.
Oh, it's gotten really bad recently.
Yeah.
It started getting horrid with Obama.
Yeah.
Like, I remember he fucking changed it so that 6th through 12th grade was, or 6th through something was not middle or elementary school anymore. He single-handedly created...
6th through 8th. Yeah.
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 He single-handedly created middle school.
On a federal level, yes. There are some places like our area that already had it that way, but he made it a federal thing, I'm pretty sure.
And if you think about it, it's cheaper to fund one school than two.
Yeah.
Makes you think, don't it?
That is a conspiracy in and of itself. But for the food pyramid conspiracy, is it A, believable, B, plausible, or C, bullshit? I would say it is plausible.
With who was president at the time and just the general history of that family, I'm definitely going to say it's a high plausibility of being correct.
Cool. So, do you have a conspiracy theory in the barrel?
I do actually.
Okay.
Picture this, okay?
Okay.
The year is 2020. I'm sure you already see where I'm going with this.
This could go one of like 2 or 3 ways, yeah.
What ways do you
Just
see?
Continue.
2020, okay? Everything's fine. And then somebody coughs.
Some dumb motherfucker eats a bat.
And everybody loses their fucking shit. It sent the entire fucking world into a fucking panic because of a cough.
Okay, so before we go on, super quick, we cannot say the C word. We can't say it. Because anything on YouTube that you talk about conspiracy theories concerning the C word gets demonetized to hell and back. So instead of that, we're going to just call it the cough.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the cough 19.
The cough of 19, yes.
But that's essentially what it was. Someone lost their shit. Or people lost their shit because someone coughed.
Yeah.
And I've had the cough 3, maybe 4 times.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had it twice.
And, well, my friends and I at the time all worked in retail, so
Oh.
we were kind of a petri dish for it.
Yeah. When I first got it, I was a taxi driver.
You were a taxi driver.
I was. I had a 2009 or 2008 Saturn View. And I did taxi uptown and in Burley and Hayburn and Paul and stuff. And yeah. That's probably how I got it. Because it was actually pretty funny. I was driving these 2 people from the bar to their like trailer house out in the boonies. And right before I dropped them off, one of the guys was like, "Oh yeah, we're from like Colorado or something like that." And that was before Idaho got officially infected.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, Colorado, when did you guys get here?" And they're like, "Oh, just this past week." And I'm like, oh boy. And right before I dropped them off, the dude started coughing, had a minute-long coughing fit. And it was like, fade to black and white. This is when he knew he fucked up. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get it! And I did. Like a week later, I started showing symptoms. I'm like, oh, fuck me.
When the announcement was made that Idaho was going into... the quarantine wasn't necessarily a thing yet.
Yeah.
But COVID cases were... I'll bleep it.
I think 1 or 2 will be fine. But just
Okay.
try your best.
Cough cases
Yes.
were popping up very quickly.
Yeah.
And so we sat down when we heard the news about that, and we were like, okay, so we all work in customer service. People do not care if they're sick or not.
Yeah.
Are we going to quarantine ourselves from each other, or what are we going to do? You know, keep in mind, it's a little hard to quarantine yourself from other people when you're living in a motel room
Yeah.
with 3 other people.
Oh.
So, in other words, we would have to lock them in the bathroom or something.
That's a little inconvenient.
Yeah, and then just like piss out a window,
Yeah,
which I was fine doing,
but I'm
But-
sure the cops wouldn't like that.
but it was frowned upon by everybody else.
Yeah.
So, we all decided if we get it, we'll quarantine from the rest of the world,
Yeah.
and we're gonna do the best we can to not get it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you see how that worked.
Yeah.
I got it 3 to 4 times. And the weird thing is, so at first, the first time around, it was horrid. Like, I could not get up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, just sitting up to look at my phone to see what time it
Yeah.
was impossible. My phone was within arm's reach. And then the second time, it was still bad, but I was just like, I still have energy somehow, you know?
Yeah.
I can go to the bathroom, I can play on my phone.
Yeah. Second time around wasn't that bad.
And then the third time, it's, holy shit, I could go for a run.
Yeah.
And then the fourth time, wait, I had the cough?
Yeah. Me and my wife think that we all had COVID a third time, but we don't know for sure because it wasn't. It was basically just a cold. Like
Yeah.
without the sniffles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like, we hand sanitized everything.
Yeah.
We washed everything every night. We constantly were washing hands and trying not to breathe on each other, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
But again, motel room. It's kind of difficult.
A little bit.
So, and it wasn't necessarily a small hotel room by any means, but it wasn't huge either.
Yeah.
So, we definitely could have social distanced a lot better, but let's be honest, that wouldn't have really done much.
Yeah. When I
So-
got COVID first time, it was actually between. It was the time between me getting my divorce and then me hooking up with my wife that I have now, and it was just me and my mom in the house. And-
Celebrate good times, come on!
It absolutely was not good times. So I was freaking the fuck out because I had heard reports out of China that they were hucking their pets out of windows because they speculated that dogs and cats and stuff could carry the virus.
I remember that.
So I was so scared shitless that my little tiny dog, well, not tiny, but pretty small dog, was going to get it and she was going to die. I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
So between me and my mom, we're like, don't kiss the dog, don't let the dog even lick anywhere on your face. Just like kind of keep the dog at arm's length.
Yeah.
And at our worst, my mom couldn't get out of bed and I had to help her to the bathroom, which me being sick myself was hell too.
Yeah.
And at my worst, I was aching so bad every inch of my body that I couldn't sleep. And
Yeah.
it got to the point where my mom's like, you need to go to the hospital. And that was the very first time that I ever had morphine. And oh my God, the amount of relief that I felt for that solid 2 hours. I was like, oh my God, yes. And they were like, just hang tight. We're going to give you some morphine. You can take a nap and we'll wake you up in 2 hours. And they woke me up and I was like, oh my God, I feel so good right now. And they let me go home and I was able to sleep about 6 hours that night, I remember. And then in the morning, I got achy and awful again, but not nearly as bad. I was just like, man, if I hadn't have gone to the doctors that night, I probably would not have gotten an ounce of sleep and I would have probably killed myself.
Yeah, it's funny. I got morphine myself for something unrelated
Uh-huh.
to the cough. And I'm not gonna say, using drugs is okay,
Uh-huh.
but I get why people are addicted to morphine.
Yeah, definitely. Could you eat the first time you got it? Were you able to eat anything?
I honestly don't remember.
I remember a couple of times I couldn't even keep ramen down. But you know what I could keep down? Was crunchy Cheetos. It was really weird. I would suck the cheese off of them and then just kind of munch them up. And I could keep that down. No problem. Everything else, though, I had trouble keeping down. I kept throwing everything else up.
But anyways, it's funny you bring up the dog thing.
Yeah.
Because we had 3 dogs in that hotel or motel room.
Yeah.
And one day there's a knock at the door. So I go and I open it, I back up, and this cop's like, "You need to get rid of your dogs."
Oh.
And I'm like, fucking excuse me? He's like, "You need to get rid of your dogs." And I'm like, on what accord? Why are you even here?
Yeah.
And he makes up some fucking bullshit fucking excuse. He wasn't there on official business.
Oh.
He was there because we had filed a complaint against him.
Oh. Was he in uniform?
Yep.
That's illegal.
He was on duty.
Oh, was he on duty? Okay.
He was on duty, but he was not there on official business. And he's like, "You gotta get rid of your dogs." And I'm like, "On what account?"
You gotta get rid of your fucking attitude, bro.
And then he fucking makes up some stupid ass bullshit. And I'm like, "You're fucking stupid." And he responds, "Yeah, but it's the law." And I'm like, "Do you want me to cough on you?" He was like, "Not really, no." "Well, you see, I just tested positive. And I'm not afraid to cough on your dumb ass.
Oh boy.
So you can turn around, get back in your little wee-woo car, and drive off."
Yeah.
And he looks at me for a second, and then he goes, "Have a nice day," and walks off. He was not happy.
Boy. Yeah.
But that was the one time the fear of the cough was entertaining.
Did you know that somebody robbed a bank?
Yeah, I heard about that.
And they're like, "Hey, give me all your money or else I'll give you the cough." And not only did he get charged for robbing a bank, of course, but also for making terroristic threats.
Okay, that's a little much.
Instead of getting him on a weapons charge because he didn't have a fucking weapon, terroristic threats. And I think somebody got charged for terroristic threats as well for like getting mad at somebody because they weren't wearing a mask inside of a shopping mall or something, and then them actually coughing on the other person.
Yeah, like a assault or something like that.
Yeah, but it was terroristic. I think it was bioterrorism is what they classified it. Which technically, I suppose that's correct.
At the same time, though, that is fucking stupid.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you know how they say that it came from bats?
Yeah, either bats or pangolins.
Okay, the only time I've ever seen a pangolin, as you call it, the normal people call it penguin.
No, it's a separate animal.
Wait, what?
Pangolin is like a cross between an armadillo and like a possum.
Okay, wait, you're pulling my leg right now, right?
No, sir.
Because the only penguin I've seen is behind glass.
Yeah, see, it's like a little mouse with
What the fuck? It actually is real.
Yeah. Israel. But yeah, it's like a possum armadillo. It has segmented armor so that it can be a little bit more flexible, but it's like an armadillo.
Well, anyways,
possum.
they were trying to say for the longest time, I legitimately never heard that.
Yeah.
The pangolin or whatever.
Pangolin, yes.
But the bat was a very common one.
Yes.
That never made sense to me from the first time I fucking heard it. You want to know why?
Why?
There was a dude by the name of Ozzy Osbourne who literally ate the bats' heads off and never got the cough.
He only did that once.
No.
Yes.
That was his staple.
No.
That was his image.
He said in interviews that he thought it was a rubber bat, and he had only done it the one time.
I've seen multiple videos of him doing it, though. With, like, different backgrounds and shit like that.
They might have been deep fakes. I don't know.
That is true. But this was way back when.
Oh,
You know.
I don't know.
But
Ozzy...
But still, like, how the fuck did he eat so many fucking bats? Or even just one.
Yeah.
And not get the cough? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So, which brings us to our conspiracy. Do you believe the cough was man-made?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you believe it was made in a lab?
Absolutely, yes. Well, okay. Not specifically like a... Because the main conspiracy that I've heard is that people think that it was made in a lab
In China.
in China, sponsored by the U.S. government to try and make bioweapons. I don't believe that.
No, that's a stretch. But
Yeah.
I do believe that it was man-made. Because if you look at history, there has been literally no fucking record of the cough until 2020.
Like that kind of variant of cough, yeah.
Yeah.
There have been coronaviruses before. I think the Spanish flu was a type of coronavirus, something like that. But the deadliness and the infectivityness and the spreadabilityness of that specific cough 19, I do believe we've never seen anything like that.
I didn't know that corona was a virus type.
Yeah, they call it the coronavirus because corona in Spanish is crown, and that's what the little microorganism looks
Yeah.
like, a little halo type, crescent moon shaped type of...
Well, all I know is I had a very fun time during quarantine
Did you?
because nobody was buying Coronas
That's
for obvious reasons.
very funny, yes.
So we would literally buy them in bulk.
I think they got like so desperate they were selling like 12 packs of Coronas for like $5, $4.
Yeah, no,
Like,
they were fucking cheap as hell.
yeah.
Like, you go in with like fucking $20 and you come out a fucking Trash King.
Yeah.
Like,
Trash King.
like you don't even fucking make it to the door. You're just
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
And-
So,
and like I shit you not, I remember one time we had spent like $100 and something at Walmart, and we bought their entire fucking stock of Corona, which was a lot.
yeah. I bet you with $50 you probably could buy an entire store stock.
Imagine what we did with 100 and something.
Oh my god.
And
Was this in Twin?
yeah,
Okay.
you couldn't get toilet paper, but you could get drunk. So
Oh my god, the fucking toilet paper.
So that was a fair trade-off in my book.
Here
Hang
at
on. Sorry, but you'll get a kick out of this. I remember we went and we bought all of it,
yeah.
and we got back home and we started drinking like there was no tomorrow.
Jeez.
Woke up the next morning, and I am literally using bottles as a fucking blanket. There were bottles and cans everywhere.
I bet.
So, yeah, it took us like fucking 3 fucking hours or something like that to clean it all up.
Yeah.
That's how many fucking shit there was. And how nobody got alcohol poisoning? Well, I've got fucking Irish blood in me, so
Yeah.
that makes sense why I didn't. But anybody else? How they didn't get fucking alcohol poisoning blows my fucking mind.
Huh.
And I don't even like beer.
Yeah.
But it was so cheap, it's like, I like cheap more than I like beer, so, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the toilet paper was fucking ridiculous. When COVID came out, I was working at Walmart down in Twin, and the unloaders on night shift would have to store away toilet paper and shit that was always bought away.
Oh yeah.
Like super quick.
Yeah.
For the people that actually worked there.
Uh-huh.
Because when we got off shift, there was never anything left.
Mm-hmm.
So, and technically they weren't supposed to do that,
Yeah.
But COVID, the cough,
Yeah.
broke a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Walmart's rules being one of them.
Yeah.
Like, I shit you not.
I miss when they used to stay open until 1 in the morning.
I shit you not. We were storing fucking toilet paper, water bottles, canned food, shit like that. The necessities. But because we had to. Because we weren't allowed to buy them on shift.
Yeah.
That is against policy.
Yeah.
But then again, so was hoarding some of the stuff. And, like, nobody ever fucking noticed.
Yeah.
So, like, is it really that bad?
A tiny bit.
Yeah, but, like, at the same time, it's not really fair to...
Look,
like,
we all made decisions during the cough that probably weren't 100% ethical.
Yeah, but I do know I was so thankful to that crew. Like, legitimately, I cried.
Yeah.
I was so thankful, and it was scary.
A little bit, yeah.
And then I got it, and it was like, what was I afraid of?
Yeah, I never understood why booty products
Of all things, yeah.
was something that people hoarded for a respiratory disease.
Yeah. So, the theory was, we were going to be on lockdown for months.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were hoarding toilet paper and shit like that. Even though you should be hoarding, more important shit.
Like water.
Food.
And food.
And there were people that were buying water and food in bulk anyways.
Yeah.
But the toilet paper got the most attention because it was so fucking stupid.
Yeah. I have
and-
a little story about the toilet paper.
Oh, please do share.
Here at our little, tiny, local market, it's called Ridley's. It's a small store, so they usually don't pack a whole lot of one item.
Yeah.
But I had a friend who worked there at the time who said that they were trying their best to order as much toilet paper and water and canned food and stuff as they could. But one time I went there, and I live relatively close to the Ridley's.
Yeah.
And so I walked there, and this was, I think, before I got sick, and I went there specifically for toilet paper. And there were limits on things that you could buy at the time. Like, you could only buy, 2 gallons of milk and, 1 package of bread or something like that.
Yeah.
Same thing with the toilet paper. And I went there, and unfortunately, it was the most expensive type of toilet paper that they had, the Charmin stuff. But it was the only package I had, and I was at one end of the aisle, and there was a lady that was coming towards the toilet paper, and we both locked eyes, and I'm like, ooh, this bitch. And I actually ran. I sprinted and grabbed it, and she says, that's not fair. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have a family with shitty assholes too. What are you gonna do about it? That's not fair. I'm a fat bitch. I can't run. I don't think she was a fat bitch, but she looked like a Karen, and I literally told her, my family has filthy assholes that need wiped too. Okay? And she was so fucking offended. But
but no, the cough changed everything. Even 4 years later now,
yeah.
like fucking, we still have not completely recovered from that.
I think New York still requires vaccination cards to go anywhere.
Are you vaccinated?
I can't because of my heart. They said it was not medically advised for me to get it.
I didn't get it because I don't trust the fucking government. Yes, I'm one of those people.
Okay, so.
But there was not enough research and not enough time done for me to feel comfortable with getting it. And then they were like, oh, you should get it. You should get it every fucking 5 minutes on like the fucking radio or on TV, you know.
Okay, so let me do this. The conspiracy that the virus was man-made, believable, yes?
Highly.
Okay. What about the conspiracy that there was something that the people who made the vaccines knowingly did sketchy shit with the vaccines? I think it is plausible.
I do too, because, like, think about the fucking time it took them to find the cure. Quote, find the cure. I think, honestly, I think they had the cure ready to go from the get-go. And they were hiding it in Gitmo.
I don't know about that.
But, like, I did not trust how hard people were pushing people to get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like fucking TV, radio, YouTube, fucking, you couldn't go anywhere.
I know that it
getting
sounds
pressured.
I know it sounds hypocritical, but I will say this. Get your damn kids vaccinated. Get them the measles vaccine. Get them the whatever vaccine. Get them all vaccinated. Get all the vaccines that the kids need. But when it comes to the COVID vaccine, do your own research. Do what you think is right.
And I simply just didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I know people that have gotten it. And I call them a moron, but they're still my friend.
Yeah, my grandpa got the vaccine. It didn't do anything to him, which was very surprising. I, honest to God, was praying for him every day that don't let anything bad happen to him because he got the vaccine.
I'm going to respectfully call him a moron on this topic.
I mean, he's a liberal. It's okay.
But, no, I still respect the fuck out of your grandfather. You know that.
He voted for Biden,
I really do think that was a moronic decision.
He voted for Biden, though.
I knew people who voted for Biden even though they were Republican.
Yeah.
The 2020 election, oh my god.
I just think I didn't vote.
Neither did I.
I don't think a lot of people should have voted if they were...
The entire year of 2020 was a shit show.
Yeah.
And it is still, to this day, a shit show in 2024.
Okay.
I know that's the second time I've dated this, but...
Yeah.
We're in 2024 now, and...
We are?
Are we?
I don't know, are we?
I don't know, did I time travel?
Maybe.
Beep, beep.
Sometimes I still think it's 23, but yeah.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
And it's just like... How the fuck have we not recovered from that yet?
Yeah.
Like,
I still think it's disgusting that we have to pay over $3 a gallon for gas.
Yeah. For real. All because of fucking Russia.
I still remember $25 filled up my tank more than halfway.
So,
I know there are other causes for the high gas prices. I'm just saying that COVID definitely didn't fucking help. The cough! Fuck.
yeah, well, I will say this. It wasn't until Biden got into office that the price for gas skyrocketed.
I think the highest price for gas under Trump in any part of the country was like $3.02.
I'm not going to say it was cheap
Yeah.
under Trump, but it skyrocketed under Biden.
Oh yeah, it almost got, even here, even in rural buttfuck Idaho, it almost got to $4 one time. I think that was just the beginning of last year too.
Yeah.
I think the highest I ever had to pay for gas was like $3.89, almost $3.90, almost $4. Fucking insane.
I've seen it go as high as almost 5.
In some parts of the country, I have. I think it was like in Southern California, people were paying like almost $5 for gas.
Yeah, it's like I just don't. And you would think with all the fucking battling we did in the Middle East, we would have some fucking oil.
So, okay, last political thing that we're going to talk about, and you can reply to this, but after this, we're moving on. I still cannot stand Biden for not putting in that pipeline from Alaska down to the mainland states. Like, that would have saved us a lot on gas, but he's like, no oil, sorry.
Yeah, and then meanwhile he's over there smoking his fucking corncob pipe and fucking
And being like, Linda, what's my name?
come here, little Susie.
Sometimes I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Then why are you president?
Because nobody wants a black lady.
Honestly, I would prefer a black bitch for a president.
Not Kamala.
Than Biden.
Not her specifically.
Like,
but,
I just don't fucking get it.
yeah.
Like, how as a civilization are we still being affected 4 years later?
I don't know, man. But moving on from that, so definitely,
Plausible.
they did sketchy shit with the vaccine. Definitely plausible.
Plausible all around.
Yeah.
What do you think about the possibility of microchips being in the vaccine?
Oh, you want to go into that real quick? Sure.
Did I do a bad?
So me being Christian and me having a very Christian family, so I don't believe this at all personally. I don't. But my family believes, most of my family believes that that the virus is the beginning of the mark of the beast. Not specifically microchips. My grandma has said something to the effect of whatever the mark of the beast will be.
It will smell like
these-
cheese.
These vaccines will weaken our immune systems in order to accept it. The mark of the beast. And my mom believes the same. And of course my grandpa doesn't because he got the vaccine. But
The vaccine.
the vaccine. But my grandma basically begged me not to get it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get it anyway because I have a bad heart and I don't want my heart to explode because that's apparently happened.
If your heart ever explodes, can you give me a heads up so I can watch?
I'll try my best, bro.
Yay!
But my wife got the vaccine. She didn't get the booster, but she did have an allergic reaction to it. So I asked my grandma, like, what about her? She got half of it, and she didn't explain herself. But yeah, there are people who believe that there was microchips in it. There are people who believe that this is the beginning of the mark of the beast. I don't believe any of that. I do believe that probably nowadays, if you want to get the vaccine, it's probably okay, mostly because they've like used human guinea pigs for trial and error, and they've fixed their shit mostly, hopefully. But yeah, definitely during the beginning of all this, I definitely would have told you, like, you're a fucking idiot if you want to go get that.
Yeah. And I still think it's a fucking idiotic thing to do. But if you do you, dude, you know, like, I'm not
Okay.
gonna fucking judge you for one stupid decision.
Yeah.
Or one, what I think is stupid decision. I should rephrase that.
Yeah, I do think that you're a fucking moron, and I do judge you if you run in head first to shit like that without actually doing your research.
But if you feel it's
But if
what's
you do
be-
your research,
what's best for you and your family,
yeah,
then by all means, just fucking go for it.
and don't listen to Trump, and don't take.
Isn't Trump in jail now?
Unfortunately, no. But he was saying like, oh, the ivermectin, take the ivermectin and take the bleach. And there was a couple in like Utah or something like that took this specific kind of bleach that Trump told them to, and they died.
Of course, it's fucking Utah.
Either Utah or Ohio, I don't remember which.
I'm gonna say Utah because the Mormons.
Yeah, and this ivermectin stuff is like horse dewormer. He said that would help, and there were multiple cases of people taking this horse dewormer stuff, and they had various effects. None of them died, but like,
But did it actually work?
no.
Okay. Because
And
I
it's
was
funny
like,
because
maybe
he-
he's on to something, though.
Because he did get COVID. Trump
Yeah.
did COVID. And they're like, what did you do to get rid of your COVID? And he's like, oh, I had the best doctors. All the doctors were the best. They cured my illness. And they're like, okay, but what did they do to get rid of your COVID? He's like, oh, they were all great. They were just wonderful people. It's like, answer the damn question, please.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed with Trump and a lot of politicians, honestly, but mostly Trump.
Yeah.
You can never get a straight answer out of him.
Yeah.
And like I realize like politics is beating around the bush and everything like that. It shouldn't be though.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. It like you are elected, air quotes elected,
Uh-huh.
to serve the people of the United States of the America,
Yeah. You know
Wait,
what?
yeah, and uphold the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That is your job description.
Yeah.
All this shit that presidents have been doing, none of it. Congress, Congress, don't even fucking get me started. All I'm gonna say is they are breaking the law every fucking time they pass a new one.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe not-
I'm not gonna get you started on that because I want answers, and that's going to take the rest of the episode. But we'll talk about that later, a different time.
Like, okay, I'm not gonna say every time they pass a new law, but most of the time when they pass a new law, they are breaking the law.
Okay, we'll save
And-
that for another time.
And the ATF, oh my god, the ATF was created without the need for an act of Congress or congressional oversight or anything like that. Keep in mind that's a federal department,
Yeah,
and it's not even a law enforcement agency.
yeah. Okay, new conspiracy. Before you get too deep into the shit. Okay, new conspiracy.
Sorry.
You're fine. Denver Airport. Do you know anything about the Denver Airport?
It's an airport
You don't know anything about it?
in Denver.
Oh boy.
Am I right?
No. Well, yes, but
Yay, I'm a genius.
airport. So, people believe that there are like tunnels underneath the Denver airport where the rich and elite will go during the end times, and they do believe in the end times. A lot of them do. Where they will bunker down and hide from the rest of the world. And if they actually believe in the biblical end times, which a lot of them do, they will hide from Christ. Underneath the Denver airport, because there is first of all, okay, so pieces of evidence that actually quote unquote prove it, evidence for it, right? There are demonic and witch sigils scattered across the airport, in the tile on the ground, in the ceiling, in statues and monuments there, in the like runways, all over the place. There are murals. Actually, let me look up the mural.
You make me want to do research on the Denver airport now.
Which we can do an entire episode dedicated to the Denver airport. There's that much weird shit about it.
We should, because I'm already fucking intrigued.
So there is a mural. There are several murals, but there is a mural. The most famous one is of a Nazi-like figure stabbing a dove with a sword, with a rainbow coming from the left, swirling down into a whirlwind. A child, 3 children, who are trying to hide from this Nazi-like figure, with like ruins of buildings all over the place, and then women with their children weeping. That is, if that's not like, hey, don't look too much into the imagery of this, then I don't know what.
Really,
what does.
it just is reminiscent of World War II to me.
But if I understand, but like, and
No,
you don't even have to be a Christian to see this.
It
but
is
like,
1,000,000% strange that that is there at an airport. But why the Denver airport of all places?
one, because it's the mile-high city. It got a really high elevation, and in the biblical end times,
There's a flood.
There's floods everywhere. Not a worldwide flood, of course, because God promised not to do that. But there will be floods and earthquakes and everything. And with that high of an elevation, and because the city's basically on top of a mountain, the the foundation is a lot more sturdy.
Interesting.
There's also a mural of a this is all over the fucking place. A woman with a penguin in a glass case with a dolphin jumping out of it looks like a lake of fire behind her. A forest on fire. Children with a bunch of woodland creatures. A Indian child weeping over like the corpse of a leopard. What looks like a recreation of Snow White, and a holy-like figure that looks like a Native American with like the sun coming out from behind her. It is so fucking wild and weird.
I just had a major deja vu moment. Keep in mind, I have never heard of the Denver airport conspiracy. I know what Denver airport is. It's an airport in Denver,
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
That much is obvious. And I've never publicly said this because people tend to think I am crazy.
Okay.
But there have been multiple times in my life where I have been able to predict the future.
Okay.
The only issue is I can't control what I predict or when it's going to happen or where. It all just comes to me in dreams.
Yeah.
And then I'll be going through my life, day to day, and then I'll be like, holy shit, I've seen this. And that was one of those moments just now.
Huh.
Does that sound crazy?
To me, absolutely not, because I do believe that we are living in the beginnings of the end times. There are a lot of signs and wonders that would lead one who studies the Bible to believe that we are living in the beginning of the end times. And it does say in the Bible that young men will dream dreams, and which in the classic, I think it's Greek, in the classic Greek sense of those words, it actually translates to, young men will have visions, basically. So I do absolutely believe that people can tell the future, or not like, oh, this is going to happen exactly, but like have flashes and glimpses of things that will come to pass.
That's exactly what it is, and I've experienced it a couple hundred times now throughout my life.
Yeah.
From the time I was a kid to present day, and it is the most bizarre thing. And I don't talk about it much because, again, I sound like I'm a fucking lunatic.
Well, what more perfect episode to talk about this shit than the conspiracy episode? Right?
That's why I'm bringing it out.
Yeah.
That, and I just had it happen while we're recording.
Yeah. So,
I saw that exact picture, even though I have never seen that picture.
Interesting.
If that makes sense.
That does make sense. That is.
And you were saying the exact thing you were saying at that exact moment.
Interesting.
It is the weirdest fucking thing. And I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not making this up.
I know you're not.
I know it sounds like I'm making this up, but I'm as serious as I can fucking be right now, you know? Like, it is fucking wild. And I don't understand it. So
other things that are weird about the airport is that the the wired gate or the fencing around the area, instead of it having the fringe and the barbed wire pointing outwards to keep people out, it's pointing inward to keep people in. That's pretty fucking weird.
Like a prison almost.
Yeah. And this part is just a coincidence, but I do like to include this because it is fucking freaky as shit, and it could be related. But I don't put too much stock into this part. But there is a giant horse statue that killed its creator because at the last part of the statue to be made was its tail. And there's supposed to be jewels that are like in its eyes that are supposed to be blue or something like that, because the rest of the statue is like a bluish green. But the as it was being finished and they were putting the finishing touches on the statue, the tail fell and crushed its creator to death. And then when they went to go like put the tail back on it like the next day or whatever, magically and spookily the jewels in its eyes turned red. That's what people say. So they call that statue Blucifer because it's like a bluish green. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the main conspiracy is that there are tunnels and bunkers and stuff underneath the airport, and that's where the rich and elite will go during the end times. And there have been documents stating, like hinting at that is real, and also people have tried to get the blueprints for the airport through the Freedom of Information Act, which can only be denied by the president but via executive order. And every single fucking time somebody tries to do that through the Freedom of Information Act, the president, within the day, vetoes it.
Interesting.
Yes.
I have a different theory.
Okay.
I just came up with this while you were talking, so it's not exactly thought out, you know.
Yeah.
But what if... Because, let's think about it for a second. People got to get from one place to another.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Specifically planes in this context.
Yes.
So it stands to reason that it's possible that they are operating like a secret prison under the Denver airport.
You say that just because of the barbed wire, huh?
That's what got me thinking about it. But
That would make sense.
it makes sense because you transport dangerous inmates from one place to another via. And Con Air is an actual thing, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
But it's not just one plane.
Yeah.
It's, I think, a fleet of like 10.
Is that what Con Air means?
Yes.
Holy shit, you just blew my mind.
What did you think it meant?
I don't fucking know. Con Air is a brand that makes blow dryers. I don't fucking know.
It means convict air.
I never put two and two. Holy shit.
But they're not, the planes are not marked Con Air.
Yeah.
So it would stand to reason that maybe, like in the middle of the night or something,
Yeah.
a plane lands, they escort whoever off, and send them underground.
Like an underground Guantanamo.
Yeah, because Guantanamo is in Cuba,
Between Florida and Cuba, yeah.
so
It's international waters, I think.
wouldn't it make sense to have a secret supermax prison in mainland U.S.?
That does make sense, actually.
And nobody would fucking know because, again, the planes are not marked Con Air.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, usually the only people that know it's a Con Air flight is the people on the plane.
Yeah.
Like air traffic control doesn't even know.
Oh.
It's just another flight.
That is very interesting. Very interesting thought.
So, they land in the middle of the night. Nobody's paying attention to the runway. Maybe they have a designated spot where it's hidden from prying eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how exactly it would work. And then they march them to an entrance that goes down into the tunnels, and that's where the main prison is.
Interesting.
And the barbed wire is the last line of defense.
That is very interesting. So,
I literally just came up with that while you were talking.
that conspiracy theory is definitely believable.
Like,
but it still doesn't account for the weird murals and the sigils and...
I thought about that.
Yeah.
The answer is actually quite simple.
Think so?
Yeah, graffiti.
It can't be.
Granted, it is very strange graffiti.
It can't be, because with the floors that I've seen... Let me actually look that up, actually, because I might be remembering wrong.
They could have painted it before it was put in, and then they were like, hey, fuck it. And they put it in anyways.
Is that who spells sigils?
But you gotta admit, that's fucking impressive that I came up with that while you were talking.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I can't find it just doing a little Google search, but one of the most like yeah, that's pretty normal kinds of things is that there's a bunch of like Masonic stuff, which, you know, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
But
especially for a place of that size and magnitude.
Yeah. But what you just brought up, definitely believable. The whole that's where the rich and elite will go in the end times. I think that is +1 plausible, but it's mostly just I really don't think so. Like, there's a 1% chance that might be real, but I really don't think so.
Like my prison theory that I literally pulled out of my ass practically.
Yeah, that's 99 times more believable than...
Which is fucking nuts because usually I'm just fucking insane.
Yeah. So we're going to take a super quick break. I need to go to the bathroom. I would like to get a drink, and then we will be back, and Morgan will give us another conspiracy theory.
Oh, God.
Yay! Okay, I'm going to be reacting to the, what season is 16?
Season 16, episode something. Oh.
Is it?
Episode 5 of Ghost Adventures.
Dorothea Puente Murder House.
So what is special about this clip you're going to show me?
So in the first, are we on like all around capture? Or
Huh?
what sound setting are we on?
Yeah, we're on omnidirection.
Okay. So in the first episode, you'll remember that I was trying to find a video for you to watch.
One of the first ones, yeah.
Where and we were talking about the XLS camera.
Yes, I remember
that maps out the the entity.
Oh yes, with the the stick figure type thing
yes.
jitters and yeah.
So recently, thanks to a friend of mine, I have Discovery Plus. So, which means I have access to Ghost Adventures.
Yes.
Which means we have access to this video or this episode, but specifically
the one that you were trying to find previously.
Yeah, and the time is, well, it's towards the end of the fucking episode. So
towards the end, yes.
We are at
40 minutes 11 seconds.
I'm now going to use the SLS camera in a final attempt to see if my hunch is correct and Dorothea Puente has been hiding from us this entire time.
Dorothea, I know you're hiding from us, and we're gonna come back and look for you back here. If you're here, we will see you.
Oh my
God.
This is her. No way. Yeah. Just as I thought. She's standing right here, dude. Holy crap. She's in the back room back there. I knew she was standing back here. Dorothea? Is this you? I just had a feeling that she was back here, just like the psychic said, that Dorothea is detached, she's hiding and watching us.
She was kind of standing back, like, and I wanted her to come forward, but she wouldn't.
Pull my recorder up here. You must leave here, Dorothea. You must leave Peggy alone. These spirits here, you cannot control anything in this house. It's not your house. You must leave now and go and take your punishment. Man, she's going crazy now. Just going everywhere.
Break dancing.
Arms going up everywhere, just moving. She's probably pissed that he found her.
And
she needs to
gone.
face the music. And boom, she's gone. She disappeared? She just disappeared. Yeah, it was a clean map figure.
So, what'd you think?
Yeah, that's spooky. That honestly, like I said last time, that honestly puts a couple of my foundational beliefs into question.
I know I showed you something similar to this, but this being the specific video that I was trying to find, and really just the way she lost her fucking shit.
Yeah.
Really just kind of goes to show. Well, honestly, I just want one.
You want an XLR camera?
XLS.
XLS.
Yes, I do.
Well, yeah, back to our regularly scheduled nonsense.
Yep.